Baus in the current state of ADCs. I wanna check that.
Like, champion buffs needs to just be the, like, listen, you're not gonna like what I have to say. You're not gonna like it, but I'm just being genuine because I don't know what happened. Marksman's like ADC role is so piss. It's been the weakest role for the last half year minimum.
100% correct.
I don't know why people don't mention it. They're so bad.
I've been saying it.
ADCs gets one shot by every single role, and then they get to late game where they're supposed to carry, but then others, the ADC is so bad, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if all the Reddit people stopped complaining, but if they should complain anytime, it should be now because the role is actually shit.
Okay, so there's a couple of things here. Every time ADC mains complain, Freak goes on YouTube every single time and he says ADC is fine. Like last time, I watched a rundown on Freak. I don't know, 2, 3, 4 videos ago. I don't know exactly which one it was. And he legit said, oh, ADC is good. And he said something like, oh, I gave you a broken BT and overheal and you guys didn't buy it. That was his reasoning. Oh, you can, if you want defensive items, buy shield bow. That is literally what he was saying on the video. I think it's just so dumb. I agree with him. Obviously, it's really hard to make every role be balanced. ADC, this is something I've been saying for a long time. ADC used to be very OP. But what Riot did was they kept buffing support and nerfing ADC. And now we basically, support is the new ADC. There's no reason for you as an ADC player in solo queue to play ever ADC when you can queue up support, play Senna support, and just be basically an ADC but better. And then on top of that, the ADC problem is not as oppressive maybe in high elo. In high elo there's still a lot of team play and you know, ADCs get a bit more love and a bit more help from their teammates. But the lower you go, and I mean Master and below, ADC is a horrible role to play. It's a horrific role to play. This is the reason why most ADC players just lock in Seraphine, scale to 2 items and win the game. Because that's like, unironically, is so much easier and more impactful than playing a normal ADC. On top of that, like, ADC this season has been horrible. Riot has failed to balance lethality and crit items completely. So like every ADC is just buying lethality items left and right, like for the majority of the season. They nerfed proc damage on ADC items, right? Like Storm Mazer and blah blah blah. They made Kraken Slayer scale wars and stuff like that. These are all ADC nerfs, IMO. You know what's the saddest part? I think ADC as a role lost identity. Because ADC to me, many years ago, it was very simple. It was a shit role early game, kinda, or like whatever early game, but the best scaling role in the game. And that to me, if I were to balance the game, that would be ADC for me. Best late game role in the game. It is right now, at least in my experience, it's the opposite. It's a good early game role and falls off mid to late game. That's how I feel about ADC. And to me, I mean, I agree with Baus' point here. It's like, how are people not crying about ADC more? Like, I remember when ADC was fucking overpowered, people were making Reddit threads every single day. Oh, ADC is so weak, ADC is so weak. And I thought ADC was really fucking broken back then. Now, I feel like ADC is actually shit. And people are not saying anything. And by the way, just before I end my speech here, let's understand something, okay? If Riot were to buff ADC right now, botlane will be turbo OP. It already is OP, but botlane will be turbo OP. Because support is too strong. You can't just outright buff ADC. This is just gonna make botlane. Like, we had so many metas in high elo and pro play where the whole game is about botlane. The whole fucking game. So, in order to buff ADCs, we have to also nerf supports. Okay? Support down, ADC up, everyone is fucking happy. Thank you.